Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to Current Events with John Senne. Facts and fun all in one.
Hello and welcome to Current Events with John Senne. Facts and fun all in one. On to sports. In notable news, the 2020 NBA Hall of Fame inductees have been announced, and we have a big three: Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, and Kobe Bryant. Let me lay some stats at you to let you know the gravity of this Hall of Fame class. Kevin Garnett, 2008 NBA champion, 2004 NBA MVP, 2008 Defensive Player of the Year, 9-time All-NBA selection, 12-time All-Defensive selection, 15-time All-Star, 2003 All-Star MVP, averaged 17.8 points per game, 10 boards, 3.7 assists, and 1.4 blocks per game over 21 seasons. Straight out of high school. Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental, a 5-time NBA champion, 3-time Finals MVP, 2-time NBA MVP, 15-time All-NBA selection, 15-time All-Defensive selection, 1997 to 1998 Rookie of the Year, and a 15-time All-Star. Averaged 19 points, 10.8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2.2 blocks over 19 NBA seasons. And that's on top of 4 college seasons. 23 total seasons of basketball. It's a long time to be balling for Tim Duncan. And then, of course, we have the great, the late Kobe Bean Bryant, a 5-time NBA champion himself, a 2-time Finals MVP, the 2008 NBA MVP, a 15-time All-NBA selection, a 12-time All-Defensive selection, an 18-time All-Star, a 4-time All-Star MVP, and number 4 on the NBA all-time scoring list, number 3 when he retired. Averaged 25 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1.4 steals over 20 NBA seasons. Altogether, these three have 11 NBA championships, 5 NBA Finals MVPs, 4 NBA regular season MVPs, 1 Defensive Player of the Year, 39 All-NBA team selections, 39 All-Defensive team selections, 48 All-Star appearances, 5 All-Star MVPs, and an Oscar.
Rest in peace, Kobe.
Is this the greatest Hall of Fame class ever? If not, name one better in the comments below. But I don't see a case for it. I looked over them. There's some good ones out there, but nothing like that. Let me lay a couple more stats at you. I want to have a little fun with this. I was looking at all the stats, and what I did was I averaged these 3 great players down to 1 great player. So what I mean is I took their average points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game for each of the individual metrics, let's say their career or the playoffs or the finals, and I averaged the 3 of them down to 1 and what that player would look like, just to have some fun with it. Now, I know Kobe's a very, very different player than Tim Duncan, and Tim Duncan's a very different player than Kevin Garnett. It's not really for any purpose other than fun, but here we go. So I'm going to go first, career averages. What would the average of the big 3 of 2020 look like? So over their career, here's what you'd get. Over 20 NBA seasons, you'd get 20.6 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 1.1 steals, 1.7 blocks, and a .477 field goal percentage. That's pretty good over 20 years. That's longevity, if you can hold that up. Next up, playoffs. So if you were to average the greatest playoff runs of each of these 3 down to 1, it would be for Kevin Garnett, his greatest playoff run was in 2008. This is when they won the championship. Now, he's had better stat-based playoff runs, but it's all for nothing. All the stats mean nothing if you don't win the ring. There are many a great career tainted without a championship. Charles Barkley is the number one that comes to mind. So 2008 for Kevin Garnett. Tim Duncan, 2003. So this was his best season, his best playoffs, his best finals. He had a great year in 2002, 2003. Kobe Bryant was 2009. So that was when he won the championship, his first championship without Shaq. So if you average those 3 playoff runs down to one individual, here's what you get. You get 25.1 points per game, 10.4 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1.2 steals, 1.8 blocks, and a .494 field goal percentage. That should get you to the finals. So next up on our list, we have the best season. So let's average the best season of each. So these are going to be their MVP seasons. Some of them have multiple to choose from. As I mentioned, Tim Duncan's best year overall in every category seems to be 2002-2003. Had a phenomenal year, ran through the playoffs with the Spurs, won a ring. With Kevin Garnett, it would be the 2003-2004 season. However, they did end up losing in the Western Conference Finals to none other than Kobe and the Lakers. And then we have to look at Kobe himself, his best year. His best season would be 2007-2008. So this would be Kevin Garnett's revenge, where Kobe Bryant and his Lakers would lose to Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo, that Boston squad in the finals. Now Kobe would further get his revenge. He'd come back 2 years later in 2010, I believe it was, and beat the Celtics once more for his 5th and final ring. So if you average down these MVP all-time great seasons down to one player, here's what you get. 25.3 points per game, 11 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.8 blocks on a .490 field goal percentage. That's solid over 81, 82 games. These are all seasons where they played 80-plus games, just for the record. All solid numbers to get you to the playoffs. Now, of course, we expect into the playoffs and the finals for the intensity to increase. So let's get to the good stuff. Let's look at the finals average of this all-time great Big Three averaged out player. So, again, this is the same as the playoff year. So it's 2008 for Garnett, 2003 for Duncan, and 2009 for Kobe Bean Bryant. In these finals, in 2008, Garnett beat the Lakers. In 2003, Timmy Duncan beat the New Jersey Nets. And in 2009, it was Kobe Bryant over the Orlando Magic led by Dwight Howard. So this player in the finals would put up for you 24.9 points per game, 11.9 rebounds, 5.2 assists, 1.4 steals, 2.6 blocks, and a .451 field goal percentage. I gotta put a little asterisk on this for Kevin Garnett. He did not win his finals MVP the year he won a championship. It's his only finals appearance, technically speaking, so it has to be his best. But Paul Pierce won that MVP, so his stats bring down the average just a bit. But his rebounds were high, so that's why that number's high. But yeah, you'd figure get a little more out of it. KG at his best, if he had been on that Boston squad, if he'd had that in 2003, 2004, Lord knows what he would have put up. But there is your average of the Big Three. So that being said, could you find a Hall of Fame class that you could take 3 players and get higher stats than this? Higher numbers in really any category? I mean, maybe assists if you had a couple of point guards in there, or maybe some steals. But man, if we're talking on impact and credentials, 11 rings, 48 All-Stars, is this the greatest Hall of Fame class ever? If not, tell me who's better. I want to know.
This has been Current Events with John Senne. Facts and fun all in one.